Assalamu alaikum, let's explore this Islamic topic together. Hey, so, we were talking about interesting history the other day, right? Well, I was reading about Islamic astronomy. And honestly, I was blown away. It's not just about stars and planets. It's a whole fascinating story intertwined with religion, culture, and some seriously impressive scientific advancements. That's why I think it deserves the title, Islamic Astronomy's Hidden Gems. It's a treasure trove waiting to be discovered. You see, the Islamic Golden Age, roughly from the 8th to the 13th centuries, wasn't just about philosophy and literature. It was a period of incredible intellectual flourishing, and astronomy was a huge part of it. Think about it, Islam, as a religion, emphasizes the importance of understanding God's creation. The vastness of the universe, the intricate movements of celestial bodies, that all pointed towards the divine, right? So, studying astronomy wasn't just a scientific pursuit. It was a way to get closer to understanding God's magnificent work. Imagine this, scholars, many of them incredibly devout Muslims, poring over ancient Greeks, translating them into Arabic, and then going beyond them, building on what they learned. They weren't just passively receiving knowledge. They were actively challenging, refining, and expanding it. This wasn't some isolated academic exercise. They were driven by a genuine desire to understand the cosmos, to pinpoint the exact timing of prayers, crucial in Islam, to create accurate calendars for religious observances, and even for practical purposes like navigation and agriculture. One of the coolest things about this period is the sheer scale of their contribution. They built observatories, incredible structures designed to accurately measure the positions of stars and planets. These weren't just small-scale projects. These were sophisticated instruments, reflecting a deep commitment to precision. Think giant astrolabes, massive quadrants, and meticulously crafted tools that allowed them to make incredibly accurate astronomical observations. And they weren't just observers. They were mathematicians, too. To make sense of all this astronomical, they had to develop new mathematical tools and techniques. This led to advancements in trigonometry, algebra, and geometry, fields that are still fundamental to science today. Think of it like this. They needed better tools to do their astronomy. So they invented those tools. And those tools revolutionized mathematics itself. One of the things that always gets me is the sheer geographical spread of this knowledge. Islamic scholarship wasn't confined to a single city or region. From Baghdad and Damascus to Cairo and Cordoba, knowledge was exchanged, debated, and built upon across vast distances. Think of the intellectual networks spanning across continents. Scholars traveling, corresponding, sharing their discoveries and insights. It was a vibrant, interconnected world of learning. And the impact, it was phenomenal. Many of the advancements made during this period found their way into Europe later, playing a crucial role in the scientific revolution. Concepts and instruments developed by Islamic astronomers were adopted, refined, and ultimately built upon. It's not an exaggeration to say that without the contributions of Islamic scholars, the course of scientific history would have been drastically different. Think about it. Our understanding of the movements of the planets, the development of advanced mathematical tools, the design and creation of precision instruments, all of this owes a huge debt to the legacy of Islamic astronomy. Even seemingly mundane things like the calendar we use today, the Gregorian calendar, it has roots that go back to the meticulous astronomical calculations and calendar reforms undertaken by Islamic scholars. So, Islamic Astronomy's Hidden Gems isn't just a catchy title. It represents a significant and often overlooked chapter in the history of science and human civilization. It's a story of faith inspiring intellectual curiosity, of meticulous observation leading to groundbreaking discoveries, and of a global network of scholars working together to unravel the mysteries of the universe. It shows us that scientific progress isn't just about isolated geniuses working in isolation, it's about collaboration, building on the work of previous generations, and a deep commitment to the pursuit of knowledge. It is a testament to the power of human ingenuity in the enduring importance of intellectual exchange across cultures and generations. It's also a reminder that there's always more to learn, more to discover, and more fascinating stories waiting to be uncovered, and sometimes those gems are hidden in plain sight, just waiting for someone to appreciate their brilliance. And that's what makes Islamic astronomy, and its hidden gems, so utterly captivating. Isn't that amazing? Hey, so, you wanna hear about Islamic astronomy? It's way cooler than you might think. Forget dusty old books about brilliant minds, incredible discoveries, and a story woven into the very fabric of a civilization. We're talking about Islamic astronomy's hidden gems, and the hidden part is the most intriguing bit. Imagine, if you will, the 8th century. The Abbasid Caliphate is flourishing. Think Baghdad, a sprawling metropolis buzzing with activity. A melting pot of cultures and ideas unlike anything the world had seen before. This wasn't just some isolated empire. It stretched across vast swathes of land, from Spain to Persia, connecting east and west like never before. And right in the heart of this bustling world, a thirst for knowledge was ignited, a thirst fueled by both a deep religious devotion and a natural curiosity about the cosmos. See, Islam places a huge emphasis on learning. The Quran constantly encourages seeking knowledge, understanding God's creation. This wasn't just about theological studies. It extended to everything, including the intricacies of the universe. Think of it as a divinely mandated pursuit of understanding. And that led to some seriously groundbreaking stuff. So, what started it all? Well, it wasn't a single, aha moment, but more like a gradual snowball effect. The Abbasids, newly in power, had this amazing opportunity. They inherited libraries full of ancient Greek, Persian, and Indian on astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. Think of it as winning the ultimate intellectual lottery. They realized the value of this treasure trove of knowledge and started translating everything they could get their hands on. This wasn't just a passive translation project. It was an active engagement with these ideas. They didn't just copy, they questioned, they debated, they built upon the existing knowledge. And that's where the magic really happens. These scholars, many of whom were from diverse backgrounds, Persians, Greeks, Syrians, Indians, collaborated intensely. They were working in Beit al-Hikmah, the House of Wisdom, a legendary center of learning in Baghdad. Imagine the vibrant atmosphere, a hub of discussion, debate, and the constant exchange of groundbreaking ideas. One of the most significant advancements was the refinement of astronomical instruments. They built astrolabes, incredibly precise tools that allowed them to calculate the positions of stars and planets. These weren't just simple devices. They were works of art, beautifully crafted and incredibly accurate. Think of them as the iPhones of their time. Only instead of apps, they had celestial charts and calculations. They were essential tools for navigation, timekeeping, and religious practices, determining prayer times, for example, depended heavily on accurate astronomical calculations. Then there's the story of the Ziyas. These are astronomical handbooks, comprehensive tables of astronomical, including star positions, planetary movements, and calculations for eclipses. Some of the most famous Ziyas, like the Zij al-Sindhind and the Zij al-Mumtaham, were compiled during this era. These weren't just theoretical exercises. They were practical tools used by astronomers, astrologers, and even farmers across the vast Islamic empire. They provided the framework for countless calculations, improving accuracy and aiding in everyday life. And it wasn't just about improving existing knowledge. Islamic astronomers made their own original contributions. They developed new mathematical techniques, refined existing models, and even challenged some long-held assumptions. They meticulously observed the heavens, charting stars with unprecedented accuracy, and developed new models for planetary motion. They even began to consider the possibility of a universe far larger than previously imagined, a truly revolutionary idea for the time. One thing to keep in mind is the interconnectedness of their work. Religious observance was deeply intertwined with their scientific pursuits. Calculating the precise times for prayers, determining the direction of Makkah, the Qibla, and observing the lunar calendar for religious festivals all demanded a high level of astronomical accuracy. Astronomy wasn't just a separate field of study. It was integral to their faith and their daily lives. But the story doesn't end in Baghdad. This burgeoning field of astronomy spread like wildfire throughout the empire, leading to flourishing astronomical centers in places like Damascus, Cairo, Cordoba, and beyond. Each of these centers developed its own unique contributions, creating a rich and diverse tapes of astronomical knowledge. This wasn't just about academic pursuits, though. Islamic astronomers also made significant contributions to navigation, cartography, and timekeeping, all crucial aspects of a vast and sprawling empire. Their advancements had a lasting impact, paving the way for future scientific progress in Europe and beyond. So, when we talk about Islamic astronomy's hidden gems, we aren't just talking about lost manuscripts or forgotten names. We're talking about a fascinating period in history where religious devotion, intellectual curiosity, and cross-cultural collaboration sparked a revolution in our understanding of the universe. It's a story of brilliant minds, incredible achievements, and a legacy that continues to inspire us today. It's a story waiting to be fully explored, and that's what makes it so incredibly exciting. Hey, so we were talking about Islamic astronomy, right? We touched on the early stuff, the groundwork laid by the Greeks and others. But the really exciting part, the part where things get intense, is the middle period, roughly from the 8th to the 15th centuries. This isn't just about adding a few more stars to a map, oh no. This is where Islamic astronomers completely revolutionized the field. Imagine the world, the Abbasid Caliphate, a sprawling empire stretching from Spain to Persia. Think of Baghdad, Cordoba, Damascus. These weren't just cities. They were hubs of learning, centers of a vast intellectual network. And at the heart of it all, a deep reverence for knowledge, fueled by a religious obligation to understand God's creation. Remember, Islam emphasizes the importance of seeking knowledge. It's practically a divine command. So, studying the stars wasn't just a hobby. It was considered a pious act, a way to better understand the majesty of Allah's universe. Now, these weren't monks huddled in dark monasteries. These were brilliant minds from diverse backgrounds: Persians, Arabs, Turks, Berbers, Even people from what we now call India and China. They were mathematicians, astronomers, poets, philosophers, all collaborating, building on each other's work, and constantly pushing the boundaries of what was known. One of the biggest advancements was the development of incredibly accurate astronomical instruments. Forget the little astrolabes you sometimes see in museums. These guys were building massive quadrants, armillary spheres, complex, beautiful devices that allowed for incredibly precise measurements of celestial bodies. They needed this accuracy because their work wasn't just about mapping the stars. It was crucial for things like determining the precise times for prayer, the direction of Makkah, the Qibla, and the dates of important religious holidays. Think of it as a sophisticated GPS system. But instead of satellites, they used the stars. And the math. Oh my God, the math. They refined existing mathematical techniques, invented new ones, and fundamentally changed the way we think about trigonometry, algebra, and geometry. Names like Al-Khwarizmi and Ibn al-Haytham might not ring a bell, but their contributions are foundational to modern mathematics. Al-Khwarizmi, for instance, gave us the concept of algorithms. The very word is derived from his name. His work on algebra revolutionized the field, paving the way for everything from building bridges to launching rockets. Ibn al-Haytham, meanwhile, is considered the father of optics. His experiments on light and vision were centuries ahead of their time. Beyond the practical applications, these astronomers were also deeply engaged in philosophical questions about the universe. They debated the nature of the cosmos, the movement of the planets, and the very possibility of other worlds. Think about the sheer intellectual audacity of questioning the accepted cosmology of their time, often challenging ancient Greek models and proposing their own revolutionary theories. One of the things that fascinates me is how they integrated their astronomical observations with their religious beliefs. They weren't into replace religion with science. They saw them as complementary. Understanding the universe was a way to understand God better, to appreciate the immense complexity and beauty of His creation. This isn't some clash of science and religion. It's a beautiful synthesis. Then there's the sheer scale of their accomplishments. They meticulously observed the sky, compiling detailed astronomical catalogs, creating more accurate star charts than anything that existed before. They built observatories, developed innovative techniques for measuring time, and even made significant advances in cartography, all to better understand their place in the universe. And they documented everything, leaving behind a treasure trove of manuscripts filled with diagrams, equations, and observations that we are still studying today. What's even more incredible is the lasting legacy. Their work was translated into Latin and spread across Europe, profoundly impacting the scientific revolution. Many of the astronomical models and techniques used by European astronomers were directly the advancements made by their Islamic counterparts. Without their contributions, the scientific revolution might have looked very, very different. So, when we talk about Islamic astronomy's hidden gems, it's not just about uncovering forgotten facts. It's about appreciating the immense intellectual achievement of a civilization that flourished for centuries, making groundbreaking contributions to science and leaving behind a rich legacy that continues to inspire us today. It's a story of collaboration, ingenuity, and a deep connection between faith and the pursuit of knowledge. And that, my friend, is something truly remarkable. It's a story far more captivating than any fictional adventure. Wouldn't you agree? Hey, so, we've been chatting about Islamic astronomy's hidden gems, right? It's amazing stuff, isn't it? Thinking about how much they contributed to our understanding of the universe. It's mind-blowing. We've covered how this wasn't just some random academic pursuit. It was deeply intertwined with their faith and daily life. Remember how crucial accurate timekeeping was for prayer times? That alone drove incredible innovation in observational astronomy. They weren't just looking at the stars for fun, they were striving to understand God's creation, to fulfill their religious obligations with precision. And the practical applications. Think about navigation. Imagine being a trader sailing across the vast Indian Ocean, relying on the positions of stars to guide your ship. Without accurate astronomical charts and calculations, those journeys would have been nearly impossible. Islamic astronomers were crucial in making these long voyages safer and more reliable, fostering trade and cultural exchange across continents. It wasn't just about faith. It was about livelihood, about connecting people and civilizations. We talked about the House of Wisdom in Baghdad, right? That incredible center of learning. A true melting pot of cultures where scholars from across the Islamic world, and beyond, came together to share knowledge. Greek Indian astronomical treatises. They studied it all, translating, analyzing, building upon previous discoveries. They didn't just passively absorb existing knowledge. They actively questioned, expanded upon it, and often corrected errors that had crept in over centuries. They were brilliant problem solvers, constantly refining their understanding and methods, and their instruments. It's incredible to think about the astrolabes, the quadrants, the armillary spheres. These weren't just theoretical tools. These were meticulously crafted instruments, masterpieces of engineering precision, used for everything from measuring the altitude of the sun and stars to making complex astronomical calculations. The level of craftsmanship involved is breathtaking. It's like looking at a work of art and a tool of scientific inquiry all rolled into one. Now, as we near the end of our exploration of these hidden gems, it's important to understand that Islamic astronomy's influence didn't just abruptly stop. Its legacy is something that continues to resonate even today. The story isn't one of a sudden decline but rather a gradual shift in the centers of scientific activity. The Mongol invasions, political fragmentation, and the eventual rise of Europe as a major scientific power all played a role in changing the landscape. But even as the spotlight shifted, the contributions of Islamic astronomers continued to be felt. Their work was preserved in manuscripts, passed down through generations, even translated into Latin and other European languages, influencing the scientific revolution in Europe centuries later. Think about it, the very knowledge that fueled some of the most groundbreaking scientific advancements in the West had its roots in the meticulous observations and brilliant mathematical models developed by scholars in the Islamic world. It's not about claiming exclusive ownership or diminishing the contributions of other civilizations. It's about acknowledging the rich tapes of human history in the interconnectedness of knowledge. The story of Islamic astronomy is a perfect example of how scientific progress is a collaborative effort, built upon the shoulders of giants from diverse backgrounds and cultures. It shows how ideas can travel across vast distances and time periods, enriching and transforming societies along the way. So, how did it conclude? Not with a bang, but with a slow fade into the broader history of science. The brilliant minds and their incredible innovations didn't just disappear. They became incorporated into the evolving scientific world, their legacy subtly woven into the fabric of modern astronomy and mathematics. Many of the terms and concepts we use today have roots in their work. It's a reminder that history isn't a series of isolated events, but a continuous narrative, a stream of knowledge and innovation flowing from one generation to the next. We often on singular moments of discovery, but the reality is far more complex and nuanced. Islamic astronomy's hidden gems were not hidden because they were unimportant. They were, perhaps, somewhat overlooked for a while in the grand narrative, but their brilliance is undeniable and their influence lasting. It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity, the enduring legacy of cultural exchange, and the universal pursuit of knowledge, regardless of time, place, or faith. And that, my friend, is a truly awe-inspiring thought. We've only scratched the surface, of course. There's so much more to discover and explore in this fascinating area of history. But hopefully, this conversation has given you a glimpse into the remarkable world of Islamic astronomy and its enduring contribution to our understanding of the universe. Hey, so, we were talking about Islamic astronomy, right? And how it's more than just calculating the times of prayer. It's bursting with these incredible, hidden gems, things that aren't always highlighted, but which offer so much to Muslims today. Let's dive in. Think about it, the golden age of Islam, roughly from the 8th to the 13th centuries. It was a time of incredible intellectual flourishing, a period where scholars from across the Islamic world, from Baghdad to Cordoba to Cairo, were translating Greek's, building upon them, and making groundbreaking discoveries. And astronomy was absolutely central to all of this. It wasn't just about charting the stars for practical purposes, like navigation, although that was hugely important. Think about how vital accurate navigation was for trade routes. For the Hajj pilgrimage, journeys spanning vast distances across deserts and oceans. Getting to Makkah safely and on time relied heavily on understanding the stars. The intricate astrolabes they developed, those beautiful brass instruments, were like super advanced handheld computers of their time, crucial for timekeeping in celestial navigation. Imagine the knowledge and skill required to even create one. But beyond the practical, Islamic astronomy was deeply intertwined with religious life. Knowing the precise times of prayer, the 5 daily prayers, was absolutely fundamental. The movement of the sun and the stars dictated the times, and the accuracy of those calculations was paramount. This meticulous attention to detail, this striving for precision, became a form of worship in itself. It was a way to connect with the divine order, to reflect the divine precision in the universe. And it wasn't just about the times of prayer. Determining the direction of the Qibla, the direction of the Kaaba in Makkah, was equally crucial. For Muslims all over the world, facing the Kaaba during prayer is a central aspect of worship. Islamic astronomers developed sophisticated methods to calculate the Qibla, even for those living far from the holy city. This was a massive undertaking, a testament to their commitment and their understanding of geom and spherical trigonometry. But here's where things get really interesting. Where we find those hidden gems, Islamic astronomers didn't just apply existing knowledge. They expanded it significantly. They made incredible contributions to observational astronomy, creating detailed star catalogs, charting the movements of planets with unprecedented accuracy, and even proposing new theories about the cosmos. They challenged existing models, refining and improving upon them through careful observation and mathematical analysis. Think about al-Battani, often called the Ptolemy of Islam, who refined the measurement of the Earth's precession, the slow wobble of the Earth's axis. Or consider Ibn al-Haytham, known in the West as Al-Hazan, whose work on optics revolutionized the field and paved the way for future breakthroughs in astronomy and physics. These weren't just isolated instances. They were part of a vibrant intellectual community, engaging in a constant exchange of ideas and discoveries. And what does all of this mean for Muslims today? Well, several things. First, it's a powerful reminder of our rich intellectual heritage. It's a of pride, showing that Muslims have played a vital and often overlooked role in the advancement of human knowledge. It counters the sometimes misleading narrative that presents Islam as somehow anti-science. Quite the contrary. Islamic astronomy demonstrates the deep compatibility between faith and reason, spirituality and intellectual curiosity. Second, it shows the importance of seeking knowledge, of pursuing intellectual excellence. The dedication and meticulousness of these astronomers serve as an inspiration, a model for us to strive for in our own lives. The pursuit of knowledge, for them, wasn't just an academic exercise. It was a form of worship, a way of understanding and appreciating the divine creation. Third, it helps us understand the interconnectedness of faith and science. The pursuit of astronomical knowledge in the Islamic world wasn't seen as contradictory to faith. Rather, it was seen as a way of deepening one's understanding of God's creation and of one's place within it. It encourages us to look for those connections in our own lives, to find ways to integrate our faith with our intellectual pursuits. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, it's a reminder that our faith encourages us to learn, to explore, and to contribute to the wider world. The legacy of Islamic astronomy isn't just about the past. It's a call to action for the present and the future. It encourages us to continue the tradition of intellectual inquiry, to explore the mysteries of the universe, and to share the knowledge we gain with others. It inspires us to be curious, to be creative, and to continue pushing the boundaries of human understanding, just like those brilliant astronomers of the Golden Age. So, what do you think? Pretty incredible, right? Goodbye. May Allah bless us all. That's our discussion for today.